and welcome back to a very cheery first What the Fork Sunderland review podcast of the season. It was a very pleasant return to the Championship action as the lads won 2-0, and it was dead nice and dead easy and dead fun. And we've won the opening game of the season, so we're all really excited to get stuck into it. We'll not mess about. We'll just get to who's on the show and then talk about Sunderland winning games. First and foremost, Peter, you're in Paris still, mate. Will you be raising a croissant in celebration of Reggie Lebris this evening?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm speaking to you from just now.
I think we all collectively agreed that the performance from Mayenda was quite good. I think there was points last year when you'd have and I don't want to dig anyone out, but a Hamir up front for pointing, you might as well just not bother having one. Job never looked like a striker, really. Some games he played well, but he didn't really look like a long-term solution there. I did feel like we had a striker there today. It'd be a very raw one, but I thought he got in good positions. I think on another day, his shot goes in the back of the net. I think there was a few times when he took up good positions, and I think it's been a little bit divisive from what I've seen on Twitter. Some people think he played quite well and decent. Some people think that Mayenda didn't look great and he looked off the pace. What I would say is, for me, Mayenda showed enough to make me think he can be part of that squad if you get a senior striker in to take away the pressure of him as a 19-year-old needing to score regular goals for Sunderland. If you have a striker that comes in that can score you sort of 10, 15, 20, is used to doing it at this level or has the ability to do it at this level, then Mayenda can come on in games when that's not really working for that striker, and he can maybe bag 5 or 6, and then you go, okay, Mayenda's been a good signing. He's worked out. He's got 6 goals for us. Fantastic. But I don't want to make it the Eliezer Mayenda podcast.
You just want them to have a good season. You want them to have a fit season. You want them to have a season in which he plays the majority of games instead of spending the majority of them in the treatment room. I hope it's the year for him, and I thought he was imperious today. I love him at left back. I think he's sometimes a little wasted at centre half because he doesn't get to bomb on, but a fantastic defender.
I must edit that.
Right. Yeah, that's not going in.
But it was sunny, it was funny, it was fantastic, and it was a Sunday, which I fully enjoyed, and I think all of us did at Stadium Light, as an outstanding display. It saw us destroy Sheffield Wednesday at 4-0, and I've been dying to talk about it ever since I got into the car to come back home.
Yeah, I'll put my cards on the table. I was slagging him because he should have ran. He should have gone off quicker for that chance that came just before his goal, and no sooner had I got that out of my mouth. He's in the right place at the right time with still a heck of a lot to do and a cracking left foot finish. Brilliant stuff. I mean, Dennis Serkin again, what do you say about that, man?
And for me, he got his arse handed on today tactically. Which is early doors. I'm not going to get carried away, a lot to do, but from a tactical side of it, for Reggie Lebris, he couldn't have got off to a better start in front of the home fans. To go up against a side that, let's be honest, the last home game we had, it was men against boys when we played them. It wasn't even close.
And the one thing that you will get with Sunderland fans is a level of football intelligence. We know what we're talking about. And that's not just me. That's not just you. That's not the guy.
I don't. But that's fine.
But I've not the first clue. I'm just happy to be out talking to people.
in the bunker.
Little bits of famous Netflix documentaries and seeing clips of players, Patrick Robertson and Jack Clark, when they went off and did that. Did a bit of charity day and cooked the sausage, bacon and eggs or whatever they were cooking, bless them. But I think once you get here, and then like you say, Wilson's come in from Russia, the middle of nowhere, and he's bought into it already. And I tell you what, I saw the little clip of the noise after the game. Jesus, it's spine tingling. There's not a place on earth that I'd rather watch football than the Stadium of Light when everyone's in a positive forward momentum.
I'm so sad Jack Clark's left. But you know what? Good luck to him. When I find myself... The very happy What the Fork podcast as Sunderland make it 4 wins in a row.
That'll be a total relief to Dave, who says I'm the most miserable monotone man in the world. But absolutely class. Just watch the highlights again, putting out there just how fast and how intense, pressurised we are on the opposition. Just everything about the way we're playing at the minute's brilliant.
He's forgetting it's a Sunderland podcast. He's talking about the Gateshead game.
You know what? I knew there would be a dig there somewhere. Dave just couldn't let us be happy. He's got to put a downer on it.
Hello and welcome back to the What the Folk Sunderland review show. No, I've said that too happy. Hello, we've got beat. Hello and welcome back to the What the Folk Sunderland review show as we assess a defeat to Plymouth. Wayne Rooney's Plymouth.
Well, evening, afternoon, whatever it was. Noon, high. Well, you know what I meant.
Good day.
But I very enjoyable. It's becoming a nice norm going to the stadium and coming away happy this season, 3 out of 3.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. First time in 7 months and 10 days I've talked about a win.
Peter, where are you joining me from this particular week?
I'm at home. I'm in my Berlin bunker, my podatorium. I'm severely sleep deprived because I wasn't here today. I watched the match in a lay-by somewhere in the middle of Brandenburg with interestingly enough, with a cameraman who isn't a Sunderland fan.
Welcome to the What the Folk Sunderland Immediate Review podcast. It's 5:15-ish and we've decided to come straight on, get this one out of the way because Sunderland have turned, basically 5 wins and 6 into 2 defeats and 3 by getting ourselves knackered at Watford. The big Chris Rigg flag in the middle of the walk around last night, which looked absolutely class. We didn't obviously touch on the light show outside of Twitter. I know some people didn't like it. I thought it was absolutely class. I think it looks mint. I love it. It gets me going for the game. People will disagree, but I think if you could just put the Chris Rigg rave song that I made the other day via AI on top of it, that's the only thing that could make it better. Really worked for me.
You need to be kept away from AI. I played that. I opened it just to let you in a little bit.
Chrissy Rigg, ole, ole, ole.
Graham sent this to our WhatsApp group chat, and I opened it in a supermarket in Germany. And started with Chris Rigg, ole, ole, ole. What
has he done? What has he done? Leeds are falling apart again.
Welcome back to the What the Folk podcast after one of the most surreal, hilarious nights many of us have ever seen at the Stadium of Light.
The ball coming off the referee, I think, just covers up cracks in what was a terrible performance by Hull. And as I said, I feel sorry for their fans that have to go and watch that every week.
Then he did it at Hull, then we score, and then he did it again where he actually stopped an attack with Daniel. He had to get the ball and go all right, sorry lads. So he was getting in the way quite a bit. I can understand it 100%. I think I'd probably be a bit frustrated because I was frustrated the 2 times you stopped our play. However, the referee got in the way of the Sunderland players twice more than he did get in the way of that corner. That corner, look, you're taking it short. He could have ran maybe a little bit backwards, but there's still a good 3 or 4 seconds before Daniel takes the ball off him.
Wilson's finish.
Wow.
That's good. That's beautiful football. And look. These things come round. I can't. I'm trying my best to be really, really, really I can see the point what the Hull fan. I can't.
Nah.
They'll come round, Hull. They'll come round. You'll get your turn later in the season. This is ours now.
when I came out the stadium, I seen an Oxford fan and I was feeling boisterous and I was like, we're fucking class, aren't we? And he was like, not the best team I've seen this season. And I went, who isn't? And he went, Coventry. I was like, you just put that in your arse. He went, they were really good. I was like, you honestly don't think that was okay? No worries. But that's how confident I feel about the team today. And look, the arrogance and the kind of boisterousness and all that stuff could come and like bite me back in the arse. But I've seen my team get relegated twice back to back. I've seen my team relatively be shite for a long time and struggle to get wins against Gillingham. I've seen Phil Parkinson set up 5 at the back against Gillingham and had to take all that shite. So I'm going to enjoy it whilst it's good, because I'm really proud of the team at the minute. Like when I see Joe Bellingham performing the way he does for us, and Chris Rigg performing the way he does for us, and Dennis Serkin dropping consistent 8s, Trey Hume flying into someone, I just think, you know what, I love every single one of this lot. And like we touched on Leo Yelder before, and had a bit of a laugh, but he seems like he's sound in the dressing room as well. So
yeah,
I love him as well. I love him as well. There was no better player on the pitch than Joe Bellingham. And I said that last week. That boy hasn't had a bad game, and he's strolling through matches this season. Some people said, are you worried about him in January and X, Y, and Z? Aye, but look, I'm just going to enjoy him whilst he was here. But another brilliant performance, a great finish, dominant. Just for me, he's our best player, Brad. It just is. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but brilliant again, wasn't it?
Yeah. Excuse me. This season he's been on another level. We knew he was good last year. Mismanaged. Probably seen them have a dip in form. But my word, what a player he is this year.
He gets up on it. We know he's gonna score. His name is Wilson. Wilson is the dog.
Hello and welcome back to the slightly drunk and completely unscripted What the Fuck after Sunderland beat Oxford quite comfortably 2-0. There's a few of us on the night, and we're going to toast to Sunderland's 2-0 win, and I got the can open perfect there at the same time. Just listen. Just listen. Just listen. Hello. But, you know, many of us would have taken the draw, but with almost half of our starting 11 out injured, it feels like a good result, but it also doesn't. And we're all a little bit frustrated. We're going to get through it together, though, like we always do. And by the end of it, we'll all feel better, have a laugh. People on the internet will still get frustrated by Dave saying, listen, even if he's not in this episode, and also get frustrated by me going, but I'm joined by a gaggle of knobheads to join me. First and foremost, in no particular order, is Lee Armstrong. How are you doing? You all right?
I'm all right. Settled down after the game. I was a bit angry and after full time, but I'm okay.
Pete, you've no longer the preview podcast. You're back to just a peasant. You're no longer a host. How are you doing?
Yeah,
all right?
one and done.
I can see us doing it, and then it's the lottery of a final. And for some reason, I'm actually weirdly confident that we might actually do something at Wembley in like a game of magnitude. There's no experience to life of why I should think that, but I genuinely think we are good enough to be in the playoffs. I think the parachute money and the nous and the squad depth that Leeds and Sheffield United have got, I think that will see them over the line. Yeah, I can see us being in the top 6 by the end, and I really fancy us to do all right, but we've still got a long way to go.
Yeah, to leave it on a positive, I feel exactly the same way. But lads, look, I don't like discussing a defeat. I'm sure people don't always like listening to defeat, but if you've lasted this long, thanks very much. As always, please unsubscribe.
I'm going to hang some Christmas lights and try and cheer myself up.
In case you said Christmas lights.
Tommy Watson scoring goals all the time with Patrick Roberts and his magic feet. We have brought a new ARB.
A rain-swept Stadium of Light and my cold may have kept me delayed from getting home by about 3 to 4 hours, getting back to Scotland, but it didn't stop Sunderland win as Tommy Watson ensured that we ended our mini blip and returned to winning ways on Wearside. We've got a win to talk about, so I hope you'll join us as we run through Sunderland 2, Stoke City 1. To join me, as ever, is Peter. Peter, how are you doing? You all right?
Do you know what? I'm great, thanks.
Every time he got the ball, he was turning the full back down the channels, or he was cutting inside and he couldn't get anywhere near him. It just goes to show how good he was. Like, everyone was talking about him last year, about all his goals he scored for the academy and that, and he's getting his chance in the first team. He's maturing every game he's playing. Like, the ability's always been there. I think I've said in the group chat, he doesn't look out of place, but he's very, very raw. But the more games he's playing, the more mature he's getting. I just hope himself and the crowd keep their feet on the ground when it comes to him, because he's not going to produce that type of performance every single week. Just be patient with him. He might go and score one next week, but then it's like a case of just like keeping him and the support, like the expectations at a low, because he's still a young boy. He's still new to the Championship football. But he was class yesterday, and to say he took on what he did against Sheffield United, and obviously got his end product by his 2 goals, and they were thoroughly deserved as well.
I just keep looking at that gap to 7th place, if I'm honest, and the fact that that's grown a bit more a day makes me very happy. I've been thinking for probably about 2 months now that we're on our way to Wembley at the end of the season. There's a lot of twists and turns before then. I'm aware of that. But I just think, 1, we've got quite a capable young squad. 2, they have the right attitude for it, and that never say die attitude, which is nice to see. And thirdly, just don't think the rest of the league's quite as good. I think Luke Williams probably summed it up very well last week, and I probably want to reiterate what he says. There's a little group of teams who are just that little bit better than everyone else. There's probably 2 teams which are clear of everyone else, and that's Sheffield United. You've got to remember they had a 2-point deduction at the beginning of the season as well. So they're ticking along very, very nicely without being spectacular. But we've competed with them, and I think that proves that we are in that group of top 6 who should be there quite comfortably by the end of the season. And let's hope that the lottery pays itself off for us for once, because it's been a while since we had a big Wembley final. No disrespect to Wickham, no disrespect to Tranmere, but yeah, this would be the big one if we got there and we could get back to the promised land, wouldn't it?
We just haven't spoken. It's been podcast after podcast. Christmas has been lovely. I've been back in Hetton with me mum and dad, my wife Cheyenne, and our 7-month-old daughter Fiona. So we've had our first Christmas as parents. It's been busy. Lots of people to see, including Santa Claus, and all kinds of stuff. It's been brilliant though. It's been, and that is the dog trying to get in the room that I'm doing the podcast from. So I'm hoping by saying that out loud, somebody will come and get him. So yeah,
Speaking about it, because I thought the past 2 games, I know people disagree, but I thought Mayenda's been fine the past 2 games considering the whole context. But there's a real mix of stuff online, to be honest, and there's a mix of in the ground, despite the fact that most people were like, bugger. Some people going, oh God, he's got to score that. And look, it's clearly for me a really poor piece of decision making. But look, you might have a different opinion, people. I'll give mine on Mayenda. And people might say, oh, you just give Pato a bit of a hammer in there. But
we have.
but Pato's had 4 years. So look, when I go to Sunderland games, I think anyone listen to the Wembley podcast when I did the bit at the end and I talked about how class it was because it just made me day and it was going to live with us forever. Look, I'm aware, and I think some people are aware, I've had a life-threatening disease at some point, and it's quite funny how that makes you think about life and then you realise, oh shit, I'm not going to be about forever. So when I go to games, look, I like live for Sunderland, really. I live for football. It's part of me job. It's part of me profession. Me fandom is the big part of it, and me fandom is Sunderland. But I think I'm also fully aware that Sunderland are not going to be Manchester City and win just shit in my lifetime all the time. So I try my very best at the minute to enjoy the good times as best as I possibly can, even if those good times don't match most of what other clubs get. Sometimes, to be honest, I just want to go to Blackburn Rovers away and think, we've got a chance of winning this today. And I like the 11 lads that are on the pitch. And Mayenda's included in that. I've spent And what annoys me most about your Jack Rodwells, your Brendan Galloway's, your Lee Camps, is they've wasted my time. I'm going to have, if I'm really lucky, another 40-ish years, 45 years on this, hopefully longer. And hopefully I'll see Sunderland win loads of things in that. When he gets a bit older and he gets better at his finishing, or he becomes more experienced at his finishing, could have had a hat-trick tonight, but a goal for him and an assist for him, offensively, defensively, not just his goals and his assist, he ran his absolute bollocks off. And if we don't praise him for that after that and don't see what he's got and persist with it a bit more, I don't know what you do. I thought he's brilliant tonight, Ross, wasn't he?
Aye, really good. Him and Wilson linked up tremendously as a front two. Old school to see two strikers on from the start. But it really worked. Their two centre halves were absolutely ran ragged by them. Mayenda's better when he doesn't overthink things and overcomplicate things, and when he uses his physicality and his sheer raw power and pace that he's got to get out the defence. But it's got to be alluded to. The first touch, I know it's an error by the defender for the goal, but that first touch is brilliant, and he's still got a lot to do, and he gives the keeper the eyes. The keeper goes down the wrong way. So it's showing that he's learning. So that's the main thing for me.
Dave, you're not as sensible as Pete, but then who am I to speak? How are you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm okay. I've just done the thing, haven't I? Sorry, but yeah. So I last minute got lumbered into a car, ended up at Burnley, and then ended up back at 2:00 this morning. Seeing things from the side of the football pitch wasn't much better than seeing it on TV, I wouldn't have thought. I knew as soon as the second penalty came around and Wilson picked up the ball again, I knew exactly what was happening.
And last but not least, we have a new guest. Hopefully the most sensible of us all, because we can't get much less sensible. But Sophie Bellwood. Sophie, you were there last night, so I imagine you got home a bit late, but how are you doing? You all right?
Hiya, yeah, I'm good, thank you. Hope everyone else is all right. Definitely not the strangest thing, but one of the most frustrating. But it's one of them. I think it's important to look at it as a point gained on the road rather than 2 points that we could have had. But, you know, it's one of them. Yeah, absolutely. Look, when he missed that second penalty, of course, everyone was, I mean, I had seas of people in front of me. It was hands in heads. It was total disbelief. I myself was in disbelief, and of course you're frustrated because you think, God, we could have nicked that. We could have nicked 3 points from arguably one of the best teams in the league. You know, you look at the players that they've got, but when that full-time whistle went, you could say Wilson, he just hit the deck. But everyone, you know, there was loads of people in front of me, like almost gesturing to Wilson to come over. We're not. Look, it's a lottery. It's all about down to luck, and you miss them, you score them. You know, it's a game in fine margins. But we were singing his name, and you know, you had your Dan Neil who was pointing towards him, as almost saying, like, come on, let's kind of wrap our arms around him, embrace him. You know, he has been good, and he gives 110% every game. You can see how much he cares and how much he wants to be successful.
Onwards, upwards, we're still going to win the league with 100 points and 100 goals. Happy days.
I think it's already been said. No one wants to play us because we are a good team. And what I would say, as I put on Twitter last night, chin up and charge the mountain. It's there to be taken. There's no need to panic.
God,
It's weird, isn't it?
Stay, can't she?
Yeah, she's staying. Yeah, she's staying.
Honestly, unbelievable.
I was planning to wrap up warm and do nothing today, but now because of that speech, I want to like get out and achieve something today.
Fucking come on! I don't know what time you watched the game, mate, but how are you? Are you all right?
Wohengao Singh, I am very happy. Ni hao ma to everybody watching and listening and all of the rest of it. No, I'm great, mate. It was a 3:00 in the morning start for me. But yeah, grand. I've ridden a train from Shanghai to Zhejiang province, where I'm speaking to you from right now. Absolutely elated, going through all of the tweets, going through all of the... Actually went back and listened to your Aidan McGeady interview for a second time, just to give that an extra plug. Do listen if you haven't already. No, over the moon, mate. Absolutely class.
Pete, As always, a salesman, unlike myself. Please unsubscribe and unfollow. You were at the game last night. Look, none of us were, to be completely honest. You were down at Middlesbrough last night. We all saw the celebrations on TV. We saw how good the away end looked. We've all been in those great away ends. I was there last year and it was pretty good when Rusyn scored. I imagine last night topped it a little bit. Can you just run me through your emotions the morning after? I can hear your voice is a bit croaky, but how good was that away end?
Yes, never stopped singing last night. It was incredible. By far the best away day I've ever been to. And, you know, I've been to some good away days, but that was amazing. I think it was just because of the way that we got back into the game and, you know, they treat it, obviously, as they always do, as this massive occasion. They had the fire going, they had the tifo going. And then, obviously, we just turned up, we sang our hearts out for the lads. And I tell you what, when that third goal went in, it was absolutely incredible. The lad next to me was grabbing onto me coat. He was standing up on the chairs. He snapped a chair. It was incredible. Absolutely amazing.
Into the player who took the piss out of Middlesbrough last night. Because, wow. Absolutely wow.
I was buckled when he did it. And I mean, it's like, again, I'll repeat, like, I wouldn't have worked for Middlesbrough if I found them being a rivalry back when I was younger. If someone had done that, if anyone had done that, I'd have been fuming. If Leicester City's captain had done that, I'd have been fuming. I think it's quite clear there's a little bit of needle between, you know, some fans, Sunderland fans hate Derby and Middlesbrough fans clearly do as well. For him to do that was kind of like, he was planting his flag on the ground, planting his flag in the ground of like, this is my real arrival, this is my permanent arrival.
Yeah.
And I felt like Graham Souness would have been very, 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 very proud of him, mate. But
which one took the piss more? Was it Wilson Isidore or was it Enzo Lafia?
And welcome back to What the Folk podcast. We'll do it, I guess. I don't really want to, but hopefully by the end of the half an hour, it'll be funny.
They needed a good hiding because it is a warning. I think that will give them kind of the kick up the backside that they need and probably what the manager needs tactically now to kind of rest and recover and get it right after the international break, because we're not there yet. We're not in the playoffs yet.
Why anyone's paying 45 quid a ticket to go to Coventry is beyond the realms of belief, because it's never going to end well. It's just one of those places that doesn't work for us. And I totally agree. The great thing about this division is to caveat it and to bring back balance. Unfortunately, we've got an international break. But other than that, your next game is more than winnable. Like more than winnable. Millwall at home next, if I'm not mistaken.
Bring me the head of Coventry City. How are you doing?
Yeah, the moment you said that, my heart dropped a few weeks ago. So I was like, oh, that could be fucking clipped up pretty well. And here we are. Let's be honest, everybody was checking the score, and when everyone's seeing Bristol City with 2-0 down, it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, it's going to be Coventry. Like, let's be honest, everybody was thinking that. We all knew it was just destined. Of course, Boro couldn't do us a favour because they're fucking useless. Just putting that out there.
I'm sick of it. You know what? No, I didn't want Bristol City. Bring me the head of Coventry. Fucking now. And welcome back to the WTF Sunderland podcast after a mammoth first leg victory over Coventry City at the Jimmy Hill Arena. It's just half time, but there's plenty to get stuck into when we've got the whole crew with us because they all wanted to join in this morning. So joining me this morning in no particular order, first and foremost, is my favourite co-host, Dave Lawrence. Dave, how are you? You all right? Dave?
Absolutely murdered me because I wasn't expecting me to be first. So yeah, not bad at all.
And I'll just tell the lads to lose the games. Everyone will be really sad. Alga has to be sacked, and then we'll just turn it on, and everyone will be dead happy, and it'll be really funny. So yeah, so far so good, and I hope I get to praise him afterwards. But
in your face, no, like Dan Ballard. Let's not talk about my dubious linguistic abilities. Dan Ballard is off last night's performance. First name on that team sheet for me, because that was really, really impressive. The amount of the blocks that were put in at the right time, I think it was 20 blocks he put in that match. Every single thing he attempted, he pulled off. Aerially, absolutely dominant. I mean, he did get a overhand right in the back of the head from Pato at one point. Like,
he even blocked one of our shots because that Job shot was going in. It was like, Ballard, stop blocking things.
It hit him in his massive backside, but then I had a look at it and it hit him in the other side.
Hello and welcome back to the for fuck's sake. Hello and welcome back to the WTF podcast that will not get released if Sunderland don't win. Ross, how are you doing? You alright?
Shitting me pants.
A few moments later. But look, big occasion, big night, and I think ultimately Ross, look.
Yeah, and not for all these County fans on Twitter who are going, Sunderland, I think they've done it already. Come fucking sit with me. I'll tell you. Everyone in this bar is nervous. It's an exciting nervousness about the place, and but we've also got to embrace it and enjoy pre-match. Get behind the lads during 90 minutes, and we shall see. What will be, will be.
Yeah, what will be, and hopefully it ends in a rhyming word at the end of that. But if you're listening to this, enjoy what comes next.
Corner. Ballard! Yeah! Deserves it. It's a big man. It's been immense.
Fucking hell! I've lost my head.
What the fuck just happened? I'm gone.
Fucking gone!
Yes!
Get off the fucking pitch as well, you pricks.
You're not going to get this in any way, shape, or form.
This is what happens when you break yelled on.
As soon as Yell came, was it Ballard that scored?
Ballard header.
This is the most incoherent podcast you'll ever have, by the way. Well, that was fucking. Oh, mate. The lad next to me goes. We never score from corners.
Score there from a set piece.
Yes! Oh, it's train podcast all over again. I don't know how to. I don't even know how to sum that up. Sunderland just means so much to me, and so much to like everyone I've been with tonight, and like something shone on us tonight, and I don't know what it was. I don't know. It's kind of getting emotional to the point of it not sounding coherent. We'll do a proper review show when we've all come down and stuff like that, but I just don't know. I mean, Ross has gone crowd surfing, but you heard us shout for a bit. I don't know how people can vlog games because my head's completely gone, but oh man, I just feel, I love Sunderland, I really do, and I hope you've enjoyed this podcast because fuck me, that was a moment. Enjoy it. See you at Wembley. Hello and welcome to another Trafalgar Square WTF podcast, which we'd always kind of hope we would do but haven't. I have roped in Dave Lawrence. I think his attention's elsewhere, but you doing alright?
Yeah, not bad at all, mate. Yeah, nice to be back. Been a few years, but might be able to update my Instagram picture now. And same as you, we've been talking about it all week, haven't we? You're very calm and composed, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because that monkey's off our back. I'm not quite sure, but it's this is just a bit of a party, and
the flare directly behind you, and it looks like you're farting red smoke.
Oh my gosh, I wish I was.
Last 5 games of the season, like I said in our private little chat, I know I've been on the pod for a while.
Oh, private little chat.
But the last 5 games of the season, which I said to you, it's going to be forgotten about.
Yeah.
And them last 5 games have completely. They've eroded. We got to Wembley and we've given ourselves one hell of a chance of getting up.
Brother, that.
And that's. He's just as sexy as him, then, isn't it?
No, he's not actually. No offence, but Patrick is very, very.
I don't know if you're on about. I just looked at the next man next to me, which was Dave. It's just. I feel so calm, so relaxed. It's been a completely different week, but like I said to you in the chat. Since before Coventry was, I've got that feeling, and that feeling was the same feeling I had against Wigan.
Weirdly enough, I keep saying to my dad, like looking around thinking, how mint is this? We all here because we love Sunderland, and that's the most important thing.
I hate them sometimes.
Yeah, I hate them. It made me cry.
But I like them today.
Yeah, angry, everything in between. We're all here because we love Sunderland, and that's the most important thing, regardless of result. But I do think, I just think we're going to do it.
Just me, by myself now. We're about 2.5 hours away from kick-off, and you know that calmness I've had all week? I don't know if it's just the fact that I inhaled about 1 million flares last night up my chest. It's a bit tight, shall we say, and the nerves are kicking in a bit.
Last time?
I know, mate. Half time, not really the half we wanted. There's positives which I didn't expect to come in the shape of a VAR call, but look, this might end up going to be quite a poor podcast, but so far, still in it, but not a great first half really, brother.
No, it wasn't great. I think last 15 minutes after the VAR decision, we were starting to come into it a little bit more. Keeper Moore, they're just going long to him and he's getting the better of us.
Killing us, isn't it?
Quite a lot. It's disappointing their goals came from our corner. If we're happy, it'll not be 45 minutes, mate, it'll be about an hour.
Maybe.
Because I'll be close off, I think.
And if not, see you in a bit.
My clothes on.
Boss, I've got a face of Sunderland player.
I know! Yeah, I've just cried for ages.
Yeah, we just looked at each other and just burst into tears. Oh my God.
Mate, I know I'll never be able to admit this and record it, right? When I got this morning to Ashley, I went, imagine if Tommy Watson got a winner.
He said on the podcast, well, imagine Tommy Watson. Tell you what, he was fucking brilliant.
He was.
As he said after the Coney game, what the fuck's just happened?
By the way, what a legend, Tommy Watson.
Yeah, legend. Academy legend. Look at that.
Just scared, Tommy.
There's Adam. Look at those on the telly. Get in, Adam. Oh, God.
The guy just fell down and said, oh, I can't get up. The guy looks like Carl Mahay in front of us.
Reggie LeBray, Sunderland legend. Build a statue.
By the way, people lost those 5 games.
Momentum. Look it up here.
Woohoo. If you're listening, Coventry, Boro, anyone who's listening who said we wouldn't get anywhere, fuck you.
You know what? We might go down next year, but nothing going to take away this moment at Wembley till the end. Come on!
You'll never ever take the moment. And then do the feed in England. An England player, a Sunderland player. Been at Wembley too many times. 2 wins at Wembley.
Piece of piss, Freedy comes from here. Here we go. Come on!
I know this is not going to go across well at all, but I don't really care. Leave the pride in as well. Tin podcast. I remember to record. Sorry for crying. Things like that never happened to us.
I did. I really enjoyed myself. I think it's fair to say I had a few, but in hindsight, that's what I've done all weekend. It's been phenomenal. Honestly, it's been the best weekend of my life, and I just couldn't believe. I still can't believe that this has actually happened to us. Normally it's sort of a way around and, you know, we're all depressed and that. But you know what? Roll on the Prem, bring on the Magpies.